applause for all those guys who do it tonight. Now, we do have animals here tonight, and we'll bring them out. The kids are kind of a little bit quiet, really excited, which is fine. The last animals are clouded leopard, the bottom that progressive. So with those of that, I'll be very careful for this. So, you're also listening to an animal here tonight that I guarantee you none of you have ever seen. There's only 2 of these in the United States of America. Only 3. Very few left in the world. I want to put it in. Egg-laying mammal. Picture that. Egg-laying mammal. Than any bird in the world, the penguin does. However, most all your penguins are warm weather penguins. This is a warm weather penguin from South Africa. You have penguins in the Galapagos Islands. You have penguins in many parts of the world who would not believe in the warm weather penguins. If tonight the temperature went down in the upper 30s, the low 40s, and rainy, this animal would be gone in 2 days. When I go to Antarctica, to the bottom of the world, for most penguins, they can go to 40, 60, 80 below zero. They look just like this. Some are much bigger. The point is the ones in Antarctica have a lot of blubber, a lot of fat. But those temperatures can go to 40, 50 below zero. This is here, the warm weather penguin. Again, the penguin swims like a bullet. They're black and white, they're camouflage. We actually quit filming these animals underwater because it's like a bullet. They go like this. The black top, the white bottom. It's almost impossible to see them underwater. The penguins eat fish, all right? The warm weather penguins. The penguins in Antarctica eat a little thing like quails, a little thing like a little baby miniature shrimp. The ones in Antarctica. But the penguin is a very unique creature, everybody. Some people think they don't bite. That beak right there, right through your skull, if they want to hit you real hard there. But this one you see an iconic picture of a beautiful penguin. Thank you, Hanna Zoo. We've been to SeaWorld and Mr. Arden in this park for all one company. And SeaWorld has the greatest penguin habitats for the cold weather penguins in the world. Make sure you see it. That's amazing. Now this animal, some of you were saying that that's just a lemur. It's not just a lemur. Many of you don't know this probably. The lemur was on planet Earth before the monkeys and apes. This is on the planet Earth before monkeys and apes. So I don't have the kind of numbers to go back millions, who knows how many years in this animal on Earth. Some people say it's from Africa. It's not from Africa. It's from Madagascar. Madagascar is an island, the adults know, go off the east coast of Africa, this is Madagascar, the island. That's the place that this animal is from. This animal, about 34 years ago, we got that close to being gone forever. Real close. We wonder, you guys, adults, wonder what did the SeaWorld do? In our country last year, the 221 accredited zoos in our country gave $159 million to animals and wild. A lot of you see me on TV for debating this, and I'm not making people I debate. I don't like debating at all. When people lie about what we do in zoos, we're going to hear from Jack Hanna. A lot of you adults might be about my age and old. Yes, zoos were something 50, 60 years ago. No one abused animals. We just didn't have the money to build nice things. Today, these animals in a house. Most every zoo in this country. Our African goat costs $79 million. Our polar bear habitat, polar bears cost $52 million. I can go on and on for you. These animals live in, by the way, 98% of our animals today in zoos are born in zoos. too. Jack Hannah's is on our country to bring it back. We can go get the sperm, the eggs, and bring it back. We now release many animals back in the wild today. This animal will be gone if it wasn't for the civil use of this country. We spent $4 million in the last 10 years bringing these animals back. Most people there are the animal. They consume the animal. There's kids here. That was used to coats. And you may say, oh my gosh, that's terrible. It's easy for us sometimes as Americans to say it's easy. But when we go back centuries and hundreds and thousands of years, that's how they live. Now, most of the countries have stopped a lot of this. But they realize how valuable these animals are. This animal now has come back so well to come in thanks to the Omaha Henry Garden Zoo and Omaha, Nebraska. And they spent millions on saving this animal. And it worked, by the way. Now, where do you see this animal here? This animal has little hands, as you can see. It also has a scent gland right up here where it marks its territory. It also has two little teeth, real sharp. The teeth here. These teeth are used for popping open nuts and that kind of thing. They also use the teeth to groom each other. They're always grooming. The families of these animals, when I film them, there might be 30 to 50 up on the ground in one family. They're always playing. They're always grooming each other. They do it in the trees, but then they're on the ground. What's the tail of this animal? I will show you something. The tail of this animal, if I did not have a sense of touch, I would never know if something was in my hand. The most amazing thing I've ever seen is you take your bone off your head like a feather. The amazing tail on the end. And there's an England everybody, one of the very few people you can see in that guy. And you can see that guy. You never know. I want to bring a big snake. If you have a camera, take a picture of this. Remember I told you about the only two mammals in the world that lay eggs? Think please of your dog at home laying an egg, or a cow, or an elephant laying an egg. There are only two mammals in the world that lay eggs. This one is called the echidna, Australia. The duck-billed platypus is also lays eggs. Only two in the world. There are only 3 or 4 of these animals in America right now. Only 3 or 4 in this country. Because you're close to Columbus, I want to bring this to show the kids who don't understand it. When you think about it, just think about your dog, your female dog laying an egg. But that's what this animal does. This is not quills, by the way. These are very sharp quills. They don't come out of his body like a porcupine. You also look, she brings it up and down here. Look at the feet. You hold it up. Look at the feet of this animal. It almost looks like they're abnormal. The entire animal looks like it's not at all. The animal also has to live in dirt all the time. And when he comes with us in a huge place, he'll dig the hole and he lives in dirt all the time. The one thing about this animal is, a mammal, as you know, adults, has a breast. This animal lays an egg, like a chicken. That little baby animal is born. It's a mammal. It does not have a breast. So where does the milk come from? The milk comes from underneath this animal, right on the stomach here. The milk secretes from the skin. The milk does. And the milk, by the way, is not white or creamy. The milk is blood red. It comes out of the animal. So this is something, folks, very few people wanted to see the echidna. We're working on a breeding program to bring a lot more of them back, back to Australia. So it's a beautiful animal called the echidna. I wanted to show you this today. Thank you so much for watching. For the beautiful animal that we do. Don't ever try to pick up one of those things. Don't try to pick up one of those things like I did. Perfect. She'll keep walking. You go ahead and we'll walk down this way. Now, folks, there are different types of kangaroo, right? A lot of you might be saying that. I hope folks understand something. Some people might talk to me, especially when I debate again. Jack Hanna takes animals from his mothers to go to his speeches. We never, ever take an animal away from a mother doing a speech, to do a speech. It never happens. Why is the kangaroo here? I'll tell you why. The kangaroo is a marsupial, and I'll let the adults explain to the kids what a marsupial is. Real quickly, kids, it means the baby lives in a pouch and is born out of the mommy's tummy. When a kangaroo is born, everybody, kids, look at your fingernail. When you go home, look at a jelly bean. When the kangaroo is born, it's the size of a jelly bean. It doesn't have the head. It looks like just a jelly bean with nothing. I think it's one of the most amazing births in nature. When the baby kangaroo this big comes out of the birth canal, it then crawls up the stomach and into the pouch. How does something know that big? I don't know what the brain is. Mother Nature, how knows you're going in there? I don't have any idea. Plus, the kangaroo can have 3 stages of life in one day. For example, at 6 to 8 months, usually, baby kangaroo, I told you at birth, goes in the pouch where it attaches to the breast, the nipple. At that point, at 6 to 8 months, the animal then will hop out of the pouch and go. The funniest feeling I ever had was when all the kangaroos were about 4 or 5 months old, they were in here, they'd be nursing, and then they would go outside and play around, they jump out and play around, they jump back in. The funniest thing though is when I watched one that was this big trying to jump back in, his tail and leg hanging out, she wants to get rid of him because he continues to breastfeed this animal. So then he just jumps out and she leaves that he goes on his whole way. The kangaroo can have 3 stages of life in one day. 3 stages of life for one day in a kangaroo. 6 to 8 months, this one's leaving, right? All of a sudden, he has his birth, the baby kangaroo inside his belly. She gives birth the same day, we're in the pouch, and the same day she breeds well. The thing about it is, it's a delayed implantation. We know that people are 9 months, women are. We know that an elephant is 22 months. We know that a horse is 7 months. The kangaroo is delayed. It might be when she breeds after all those 2 things happen that day. It might be that the kangaroo is born in 2 weeks, it might be 2 months. You don't know what it's going to be born. So what happens, everyone, is all of a sudden, she's got a baby in the pouch. She gives birth to that little jelly bean. What's she going to do? Takes her paw and she pushes this along the ground for only 2 months. That one doesn't make it. That new one she's waiting for. And that's why when we see this happening in the zoological world, we immediately, obviously, pick that baby up and raise it. One of the hardest animals you ever have to raise at birth. It really is. It's almost impossible. But this one here is doing very well. The kangaroo can go 40 miles an hour, about 30 feet at a time, and they stay in groups of anywhere like 30 to 300 of them. It's called a flock of geese. A herd of horses. This is called a mob. You get like 15 to 30, sometimes 200 kangaroos. It's called a mob of kangaroos. The beautiful animal, and we also use their back foot here, which I forgot to tell you last group. The back foot here, some of you might see the claw there. It's a claw. It's only happened 1 time in history. 5 years ago in Australia, 2 guys came home from a party in Colombia or so. They thought they would corner a wild kangaroo. This kangaroo here, folks, gets that big and stands up, full grown. These 2 guys thought they cornered the kangaroo. Well, they cornered the kangaroo all right. The one guy got hurt anymore. They poked the kangaroo kicked out like this. That claw, that long, the party's over. They very rarely ever do that. Only time in history it's ever happened. Kangaroo got running and they run away from you. So it's a unique animal, everybody. It's one that's really the kids love. So thank you so much. Let's hop along. What the homies do. More food that kangaroo than anybody ever had. I'm not kidding you. You might even take the kangaroo to dinner. This is going to rescue bobcat. Oh no, this is not it. Well, she'll walk, she'll go here walk down very slowly. Don't go down here with it. This animal is a palm civet. It's called a palm civet. Most of you have never seen one. They live in Asia, Borneo, Sumatra, that part of the world. They live in real big jungles. If any of you are doctors out there, there was a disease about 10 years ago called the SARS disease. The SARS disease took the lives of quite a few people in China. About a month later, people were also, I think, somewhere in Canada, on the east coast of Canada, were dying of something else. The same thing, called the SARS disease. This animal It cured the Song disease. Not this animal. The species man. We've had this animal 18 years. Why is that? Because this animal, in that parts of the world, were used as a consumption animal. I'm not going to use the word food because the kids are here. But think about that. Everybody in the world, every different culture has different places to eat. Sometimes as Americans, the one thing I don't do, when I travel and film these people in the Amazon or Africa or wherever it might be, they have culture everybody and they live with 1,000 years. We also have culture. We're not the only culture in the world, like some others think we are. There are other people. But now that animal is no longer used to consumption because the terrible thing that happened. The meat animal, everybody, is a nocturnal animal. And what's unique about this animal can take down and consume a king cobra. How can an animal like this eat a king cobra? Because one drop of venom, a king cobra, one drop can kill an elephant. An elephant weighs tons. This animal can take out a king cobra. How does it do it? I'm sorry about this, I got it close to the mouth as I have. Anyway, this animal will come down on the ground and run a circle around the cobra real fast. And the cobra is so busy it falls over, and that's when you don't have the cobra. It's amazing, amazing. It's really not funny, but it is crazy. So, anyway, that's our problem set. Thank you. That animal was rescued 18 years ago, so that's how long it's been with us. Animal very few people get it. This animal, I have no idea. About 2 years ago, everybody loves a sloth more than anything in the world. I have no idea. It must have been a Disney show or something. I mean, it's unbelievable. The sloth is one of the slowest moving mammals in the world. The sloth lived his whole life in a tree for 2 to 3 years. Or his whole life he lived in a tree. Now, what a lot of you may not know is a sloth lives 90% of his life upside down. 90% of his life is even upside down. A lot of researchers, a lot of medical people are trying to figure out how in the world does this animal live his whole life almost testing. I can't get this feet close to my mouth already. Anyway, this animal lives its life upside down, basically. It does come down on the ground one day a week. He'll come down. Why is that? He cannot go to the bathroom in the treetops. If he did, the droppings would fall on the ground. The ocelot, the jaguar, the puppy eagle would hear that and go eat the slot. In the middle of the night, he comes down the ground, go to the bathroom real quick, go back on the tree. The animal is mostly hair, by the way. Now, if you notice on the foot, that foot there, right there, the front one, it's got two claws. It's called a two-toed sloth. There's also the three-toed sloth. It's bigger than that. It also has more of a white pointed face than the three-toed sloth. On the David Letterman show, which we did for 30 years, I explained to David Letterman just for 10 years. And David Letterman looks at me and goes, well, what's the difference between the two-toed and the three-toed sloth? One toe, you idiot. But he's always thinking that. I didn't feel that too. The animal, everyone, is also an animal that can swim like you would not believe. I've never filmed this. A friend of mine filmed it. The sloth fell out of the tree in the river in the Amazon, and that animal could swim like anybody you've ever seen. Look at the arms on that thing. How many more would it take down and use it? Whoa. Some people, by the way, do have a young sloth as a pet. I advise you, don't ever do that. I have a friend who raised sloths. We have the ones that pictured the mother was killed by cars. And raised as a baby, had it for 6 years. Right now that baby has lost this part of her arm. The sloth swung around, grabbed that piece of that, and was gone in less than 1/10 of a second. That's how fast the sloth is. Even though the jaguar is the biggest cat in South America, even though the jaguar consumes this animal, I can tell you one thing, that jaguar's got holes in it. Because these animals are not something to mess with as far as trying to think it's not a wild animal. But there it is. And by the way, the prehistoric sloth, the sloth in the dinosaur era, weighed over 1,000 pounds. Looking just like this. But thank you so much for the info. Are the cats now? So the cats you see here next to the toast, that's on the hill. one of our best friends here. That's the tallest armadillo in the world. It's called a three-banded armadillo. A three-banded armadillo. 1, 2, 3 bands. Okay. She did not want to put his finger inside there. This animal can go like this and take her finger off in a second. Now this animal here, we do raise it in zoos. Why is that? This animal is that close to extinction in Peru about, I would say about 4 years ago. This animal is consumed there as a food thing. As a matter of fact, this animal is also consumed by people all over the world. In Mexico, even in our own country, it's consumed by people. In South America, this is a major food source for them. They now stop where this animal exists in Peru. This animal, again, is prehistoric. It goes way back to dinosaur. But this is full grown. From the three engines, beautiful. Thank you so much, Thank you so much. I want to make sure you get to see here with the cats. Both these cats, one was rescued, 2 of the bobcats had their own here. This cat here is a spotted leopard. The spotted leopard was one of the most endangered cats in the world. In Borneo, Sumatra is where it lives. It lives in a very thick jungle. A lot of times, everyone, for example, you know what our mountain lion is, right? The mountain lion we have in our country. If the male mountain lion, if the male mountain lion is around and the mother has her babies or comes by there later, they're gone in 30 seconds. The mother, if he knows that she breathes, the mountain lion will leave immediately. This is a bobcat. The bobcat was one very, very sick. There were 2 of them. One of them didn't make it, and we found the other one that has come back very well. But we're going to get the this was a spotted leopard. That spotted leopard. This is only for 4.5 months exactly. This one here will not get through twice that big, the spotted leopard. If you notice the legs of the spotted leopard, it's the only cat in the world. The only cat in the world that lives 90% of his life in trees. 90% he lives in trees. His legs will get no bigger, no longer. And he has to stay tree tops for a minute. This animal is nocturnal. The animal was one of the endangered cats in that part of the world. Since then, a lot of palm oil plantations, the palm oil plantations, that took a lot of jumpers, now are taking away what they've done, putting a lot of jumpers back. So, if people criticize some of these companies, be very careful. Because now we're putting the jumpers back in there. They really did it wrong. So this animal here is very, very rare to see. I've never seen one. I tried to film him, but I might as well go find Bigfoot somewhere because it's impossible to find him out there. This animal also has 2 very sharp teeth. It always attacks and goes back here for waiting for the animal to try to find part of the nuts. Now I sight this animal in the darkness is unbelievable for this creature here. One last thing about this animal, you see the coat? That cat was one of those 100 cats in the world in the 1800s or the 1900s. These pelts right here, way back then, go for $1,000. Even today, on the black market, they don't kill them anymore. But they see on the black market, it's going to be $6,000 for one pelt. One pelt. So now they want all 100 of stock on this animal in that part of the world. But it is not turtle, they're in the trees. This is a beautiful bobcat, but they're a tree. You can see bobcats. And obviously that one over there is also a very unique picture as well. So I do want to thank everybody for coming to the People Park. Hope you go to SeaWorld Busch Gardens. All this company's one company, and all hope you go. God bless you all.